Imagine if you could just, describe a really complex job and have an expert just do it instantly. Well, that's exactly what we're looking at today. But in the world of software, we're going to break down how one single, super well crafted text file is teaching an AI to write code like a pro. It's turning simple clicks into code, and it's kind of a huge deal. So let's dive in. Okay, so this right here is the whole puzzle in a nutshell. On the left, you've got a plan that's just plain English, right? Anyone can understand it. Go here, type this, click that. But then look at the right. That's complex professional grade Java code doing the exact same thing. The big question is, how do you get from A to B, like almost in the blink of an eye? That's the magic trick we're going to pull apart. So, to really get why this is a game changer, you have to understand the problem it's solving. We're talking about the software quality grind. Yeah, it's a grind. Behind every single app on your phone, there's a whole team of people, and their job is to just click and type and swipe over and over, trying to find all the bugs before you do. And this is what that work looks like. A super standard test for a login page. And you can see how simple it is, but also how mind-numbingly repetitive it must be. Now just imagine doing this, plus hundreds of other little variations every single time a developer pushes a tiny update. It's not just slow, it's a recipe for mistakes. And let's be honest, it's not exactly the most thrilling job in the world. Okay, so the obvious question is, well, why don't you just automate it? And yeah, you're absolutely right. That's always been the goal. But here's the catch. Trying to automate this stuff often creates its own massive problem. It's a huge bottleneck that can bring a whole project to a screeching halt. And here's the really ironic part. The solution to all that boring manual clicking is writing a ton of code. You need expensive, super skilled engineers to sit there for hours or even days, just writing scripts to test the main application. So the very thing that's supposed to make everything faster often ends up being the biggest slowdown of all. But what if there was a totally different approach? What if, instead of doing it by hand or spending all that time coding it ourselves, what if we could just write the perfect recipe for an AI and have it write the code for us? And that, right there, is where this one simple text file changes everything. Now, this technique has a name. It's called prompt engineering. And look, this isn't just about asking ChatGPT a simple question. No. This is about writing an incredibly detailed set of instructions, like a legal brief for an AI, that basically forces it to act like a world-class expert. The better your instructions, the better the AI's work. It's that simple. I love this analogy because it just clicks. Think about it. You tell a master chef to just make some chicken, you'll probably get something pretty good. But if you give that same chef an incredibly detailed, perfect recipe, you're going to get a Michelin star dish. That text file we've been talking about, it's the Michelin star recipe for code. All right, so what's actually in this secret sauce? What are the ingredients that turn a general AI, something like ChatGPT, into a hyper-specialized expert that can code better than most humans? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the anatomy of this master prompt. So first off, it gives the AI a persona, an identity. It literally says, you are an expert software tester. Then it lays down the law with super strict rules. It doesn't just ask for code. It demands production-ready code. It teaches it to be fluent in seven different coding languages. It enforces all these professional standards, and it even shows the AI exactly what a perfect answer looks like. And the level of detail here is just wow. This is my favorite part. The prompt doesn't just say find the login button. It teaches the AI the exact industry standard order of operations for how to find stuff on a web page. It says, okay, first look for an ID. If you can't find that, look for a CSS selector. If that's not there, then you can use XPath. This isn't just giving orders. It's like a senior engineer doing a knowledge transfer directly into the AI's brain. It's incredible. Okay, so the AI has its Michelin star recipe. It's ready to cook. So what's the actual real-world result of all this? What does it mean for the teams who used to have to do all this stuff by hand? Well, the benefits are, honestly, they're staggering. According to the source, this whole process saves a whopping 80% of the time it used to take. Let me say that again, 80%. A job that might have taken an engineer half a day is now done in seconds. Just think about that number for a second, 80%.
We're not talking about a small improvement here. This is a fundamental change to how this work gets done. All that time is now freed up for those expensive, skilled engineers to go solve bigger, harder, more interesting problems.
And this chart just lays it out perfectly. That big bar, that's the old way. All that time, all that effort. And that tiny little bar next to it, that's the new way. The massive gap between them, that's all the value that was just unlocked. And it all came from one really, really well-written text file. But it's not just about being faster, not at all. The quality is a huge piece of this. The code the AI writes is consistently high quality because it follows the rules every single time. It's production ready, meaning you can just use it right away. It's so easy that even testers who don't know how to code can now create automation. And get this, it's even smart enough to know how to test other AI applications.
Okay, let's zoom out for a minute. This is a really cool example for software testing for sure. But what does a story like this tell us about the future of, well, pretty much every skilled job?
What this is showing us is a huge shift in what it means to be a valuable expert. The most important skill isn't necessarily doing the work anymore. It's about being the person who can write the perfect instructions for an AI that does the work. It's about knowing your craft so deeply that you can create that master recipe. You become the director, not just the actor. And that really leaves us with one final big question. We just saw how a single text file can completely upend the world of software testing. But this pattern, this idea of a master prompt, it can be applied to almost anything. So you have to wonder, which job is next? Will it be law, medicine, architecture? What expert is out there right now writing the master prompt that's going to change their entire field?